Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tim's Takeaways. Things are finally starting to slow down here as we've uh, completed all the private school sports. Middle school sports are all done now, and so all we have left is just several sports going on in the public schools: baseball, girls tennis, wrestling, and track and field. So finally have had a chance to breathe after what seems like 6 or 7 straight months of just going nonstop. So that's been a little bit nice. Really looking forward to kind of getting into the full swing now of covering the sports I just talked about. Want to start this week with baseball and especially in the Mid-Eastern Conference. We had two teams enter the week last week unbeaten, and now as it stands as of today, we have no teams left unbeaten in the Mid-Eastern Conference, and I think that just shows how strong this conference is. And kind of what I had talked about earlier in the season, which is what I thought this was the most balanced conference that we've had in the past several years. Um, Last year I think it would have been kind of the same way. I think Laney probably would have been maybe a little bit of a front runner to win, but this isn't like several years ago where New Hanover was clearly the best team in the league, and kind of everybody was chasing them. Um, We've got a big one this week. The two teams that do have one loss, Ashley and South Brunswick, will meet this week in Wilmington on Wednesday night. No games on Monday and Tuesday because of exams, so everything will be towards the end of the week. So Wednesday night, South Brunswick at Ashley in baseball. I'll certainly be there to catch that one and provide plenty of updates, and then obviously a photo gallery and a story afterwards. Got a chance to see South Brunswick for the first time last week and was really impressed. The big three that kind of get talked about the most: Walker Jenkins, Cameron Burgess, and Aubrey Smith. As advertised, just terrific players. All three were really good in that game that I saw against North Brunswick. But that's not it for South Brunswick. They've got some other really quality players. Jalen Clemens was terrific in that game, had 4 RBI. Roman Dilgard is a really good shortstop who can also hit. So plenty of other talent on that team besides what I like to call the big three over there in Southport. So if you haven't been able to check them out, now that all these restrictions have been lifted, more fans are allowed in these games. I would encourage you to get out and check out the South Brunswick team if you haven't had a chance. Ashley continues to roll too. They did suffer a loss to Hoggard earlier in the week. Ashley was winning for most of the game, and then Hoggard exploded at the end for I think 4 runs in the seventh inning to win that game. And then the Vikings continued to roll as the week went on. They finished with 3 wins last week. So Hoggard's starting to move in the right direction as well. They're still a few games behind Ashley, so they're going to need some help if they want to catch up. And those two teams still have to meet again. So, neither the 3A or the 4A has been decided yet, even though South Brunswick and Ashley both have, pretty significant leads in both. They're still going to need to take care of business and in order to guarantee those automatic playoff berths. Hoping we can have some teams make some wild card runs, but if the teams continue to beat up on each other and we have teams that finish 9-5 or 8-6, I'm not sure that's going to be good enough to get a wild card. So the way that the playoffs are being structured this year actually hurts conferences that are really strong and conferences that have a lot of balance, because teams are beating each other and worsening overall records, and that's what the state is basing the wild cards on. So it's almost better to have 2 or 3 really good teams and some weak teams instead of a balanced conference, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not, real happy with how the state decided to do playoffs this year. But that's another issue for another day. You just got to go out there and win and hope your record's good enough to get a wild card. Luckily, it looks like we'll move back to the normal format next year. Season should all be the same next year, so we should kind of be back on a normal schedule, which will be nice. Like I said, middle school season's just finished up. We had basketball and football that just wrapped up, along with girls softball as well. So I want to congratulate all the teams on a great season. Football just finished up this past week, and Rolling Grace went a perfect 4-0. They outscored their opponents 106-0. So a big congratulations to the Knights on completing a perfect regular season. I'm super glad that the middle schools got to play this year. It looked there for a while like maybe they wouldn't get to play. Their seasons were really condensed into about a month, and they didn't play nearly as many games as they're used to, but just great that they were able to get out there. And it's important for our high schools too, because they rely heavily on these middle school kids. So if they would have missed all these seasons, that would have been a year that they wouldn't have been able to get back, and then you go into high school and have to try to catch up to the other teams around the state. So it was really good that New Hanover County allowed the middle school sports to be played, and I always enjoy getting out there and watching. Like I said, it's going to be really fun. Some of these kids now that I've seen 7th and 8th grade years are getting ready to move into high school. It's going to be fun to watch some of these kids over a 6-year period, just see how their games develop and build relationships with them, because that's what this is all about, is getting to know the players and families and fans and coaches. I always love talking to you guys and building relationships. So that's been really fun to start building those at the middle school level that are carry into the high school level. Pretty short this week. Just had a couple things on my mind, but we'll get back rolling in full force. Like I said, towards the end of the week, plenty of wrestling matches, some track and field meets. I haven't been able to get out to one of those. Hoping to do that pretty soon, because we've had some really good individual performances on the track that I want to be able to get out and get some pictures and talk about in the coming weeks. But that's all for now. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye-bye.